Hello, today is July 11th, 2015. I'm Jeff Tennant. Let's change the usual order around a little bit and see what the mejt system had to say during Friday's trade, and then I'll review my predictions from Thursday night and try to make a call for Monday. During the day, mejt said early on that ultimately lower prices would print, which they did. In the afternoon, it said the drop was a false move, which it was. It now says that the rally is a false move and gives us a target of 2076.30. That's only 0.32 under Friday's close. So it's not tradable at the present time, but the significance of that is that if we trade higher without hitting the target, the system says that we should retrace. Let's go over the calls from Thursday. I had a few of them. One was that we would have a gap up, which would be higher than Thursday's high. We had to go about 12 handles higher in the overnight trade from the time I made the call in order for that to work, but that happened. We also had a call based on this Fibonacci grid that we would have a top right about here at this dotted line, which we did. We actually went a fraction higher and we closed the gap from the 8th of the month. Well, I had some higher targets too, and let's talk about those in just a minute. First, let's discuss what's happening. There is a lot of negative action on Friday's low volume rally. One is we have a wall with a hole in the wall, a gap. Usually within a day or the morning of the following day, the hole fills, we undercut the low of the wall and find support. So that would imply all of this move is likely to retrace by early Monday. We have a sequential sell signal on the 15-minute chart. There's an increased likelihood of failure when the 8th day of countdown is lower than day 5, but because we have stalled and because the signal gives the area of rather than the exact price of a top, I tend to believe this one. It's also ominous in that the highest price hit was as early as day 4 of countdown, and the earlier the number of the countdown at the high, the more severe the subsequent drop. That isn't all of the negative news. We stalled right at a Fibonacci retracement of the recent decline. We also have a reversal here on Tuesday, and we haven't been able to get past that high, which would confirm the reversal. I did have a call based on this Fibonacci pattern that we would hit this level here. We did. I also said based on this inverted diamond on stilts that we could go up into the low 2090s. I think it's possible, but I don't think that will happen. About the only positive thing I can see is we have a wall into the close. A wall into the close tends to be formed when public investors say, get me out at any price. Typically, it's reversed early the next day by having a gap up. I think if we have a gap up, it's unlikely we're going to hit the 2090s and then close the first hour or so under this low here. So we have to look for a target at a different price. If you take a Fibonacci grid here, let's turn this around. If you take a Fibonacci grid, you'll get a target just over 2082. If you look at the diamond here, and you take the Fibonacci number of 78.6, you get a target at the same price, just over 2082. I think that's a more likely target for Monday. And so what I'm trying to, I should also say that after we had this reversal day here, we had a retest, which is good, but even though we gapped up 2 days straight, we can't clear that high. And that tells me the market's struggling to move higher from here. So what I think will happen Monday is we'll have a gap up, hit just over 2082, reverse quickly, and undercut this low at 2051 and change. That's a pretty rapid drop. I think it'll happen quickly. As far as the longer term pattern is concerned, I see a number of well-respected people are saying it's safe to get back in the water and that a low is going to be formed. I continue to think quite the opposite, that we have made a top which will probably last years, and that is today's call.